Like if you found the video valuable. A cold drizzle misted the windows of the 9:42 p.m. train to Merrow Hill. Claire sat near the back of the nearly empty carriage, her fingers wrapped tightly around a chipped coffee cup. The rhythmic clatter of the tracks offered a sense of uneasy calm. Outside, trees blurred into shadows. She wasn't supposed to be on this train. Her car had broken down just outside Branton, and with her phone dead and no service station in sight, the train was her only option. What unsettled her most wasn't the lateness of the hour or the rain or the silence. It was him, the man in the charcoal overcoat who boarded 3 stations back and hadn't taken his eyes off her since. He sat 2 rows ahead, to the right, just far enough to seem nonchalant. But every so often, Claire could see him watching her reflection in the window. She tried to shake the unease. Maybe he was just a tired traveler. Still, her instincts whispered otherwise. The train slowed near a tunnel. For a brief moment, all lights flickered and went out. Darkness swallowed the carriage. Claire's breath caught. Then, light again. Her coffee cup trembled in her hand. The man was now seated directly across from her. Claire's body stiffened. He gave a polite smile, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Long night," he said. She nodded, forcing a weak smile. "Yeah, unexpected detour. You heading to Merrow Hill?" His voice was smooth, deliberate. "I have family there," she lied. He tilted his head. "Funny, I used to live there. Haven't seen you before." Claire stood abruptly. "Excuse me." She moved 2 carriages down, heart-thudding. The few passengers scattered along the train were either asleep or glued to their phones. She settled into a new seat and pulled her coat tightly around her. At the next station, an elderly man boarded. Claire took a breath. Maybe she was just paranoid. The train jerked into motion. As it left the platform, she glanced back. The man in the charcoal coat stood under the yellow station light, watching the train pull away. She exhaled with relief. Gone. But the comfort was short-lived. 2 minutes later, she heard the intercom crackle. A low, distorted voice came over the speakers. "This is your conductor. We apologize for the inconvenience. We'll be stopping briefly outside Merrow Hill due to signal issues. Please remain in your seats." The train slowed to a crawl. Claire leaned toward the window. No lights, no town, just forest. Suddenly, from the rear of the carriage, a shadow appeared. The man in the charcoal coat. Her breath caught. How? He didn't acknowledge her as he passed, heading toward the front. But his presence was heavy. Claire stood again, this time making her way to the conductor's cabin. She knocked. No answer. She tried the door. Unlocked. Inside, the control panel blinked erratically. But the seat was empty. Claire stepped inside cautiously. Hello? No one. Suddenly, the lights flickered again, and the door slammed shut behind her. Locked. Panic surged. She banged on the glass. From the corner of her eye, she noticed something odd on the monitor feed. Cameras showed the carriages, but they were empty. Her heart raced. That couldn't be right. She saw people. The elderly man. The man in the coat. She turned to the door. The man was there again, silently watching. "What do you want?" she yelled. He said nothing, only raised a hand and tapped the glass. Once, twice, then turned and walked away. Moments later, the train lurched and resumed speed. The cabin door clicked open. Claire rushed back to her seat. All passengers were gone. Not asleep, not invisible. Gone. She darted through carriage after carriage. Nothing. No signs of struggle. No luggage. At the final carriage, she stopped. At the back wall, a small door she'd never noticed before now stood open. A faint blue glow spilled from it. Compelled, she stepped through. It led to a narrow stairwell spiraling downward, inside the train. It made no logical sense. She shouldn't even be beneath the carriages. But curiosity overpowered fear. At the base was a chamber. Metal walls, rows of monitors, and in the center, a chair. Sitting in it, strapped down, was herself. Eyes wide, breathing shallow. An exact copy. Alive. Claire staggered back, bumping into someone. The man in the coat. "You weren't supposed to come down here," he said calmly. "What is this?" Claire gasped. "Who are you?" He sighed. "Every so often, one of you sees too much. Questions things. You're not the first, Claire. But you are different." She glanced at the monitors. Each showed different trains, different passengers, all unaware. "None of this is real," she whispered. "No, but it feels real, doesn't it? What happens now?" The man stepped aside, revealing a second door. "You choose. Walk through that, and you return to your life. You'll forget all this. Wake up at your destination. Safe. Claire stared at the other version of herself. Still breathing. Still trapped. And if I don't? He smiled faintly. Then someone else takes your seat. Her mind raced. Was this some simulation? Some twisted loop? She turned to him. Let her go. He shook his head. There must always be a passenger. One to keep the system running. Claire stepped back. No. He blinked. Then, for the first time, his smile faded. You'll regret this. Claire lunged for the monitors, smashing them with a fire extinguisher from the wall. Sparks flew. The chamber shook. The lights dimmed. Then, darkness. Claire awoke to morning sunlight streaming through the window. She was seated on a bench at Marrow Hill Station. Alone. Around her, commuters bustled, sipping coffee, chatting. She checked her phone. Full battery. 7:45 a.m. Had it been a dream? In her coat pocket, a folded train ticket. No origin, only a destination. Unknown. As she stood to leave, a train pulled into the station. Through the window, she saw the man in the charcoal coat. He tipped his hat and vanished.